Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today I want to talk about whether or not you should use steroids if you're an aggressive person. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there supporting the channel. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't yet, please like, sub, share, comment. Any interaction with the channel, it's going to help it to grow. It's going to allow me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video sponsored by letsgetchecked.com. Now, letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. All you have to do is go to the website, pick out whatever test that you want to order. They do it all for males and females. They have hormonal tests, wellness tests, anything you can think of, it's on there. Find what you want, order it. They're going to ship it to you. All you have to do is go online, register your kit, provide the sample, ship it back. You're going to get your results online extremely fast. They've got doctors and nurses there to answer questions for you, any concerns that you might have. So check them out. And as a special bonus, coupon code Gemelli30 is going to save you 30% off your entire order. So check them out, letsgetchecked.com. All right. So I think some of you are going to see the title of this and go, well, that's pretty obvious. The answer is no. Well, yes and no. I am always one to go more on the side of caution. I think some of you absolutely love me for that, and some of you just cannot stand me for that. And everybody's got their own ways about doing things. I've always said to everybody out there, my main goal here is to teach you how to get the absolute most out of what you're doing, but in the safest possible way. And I want to extend quality of life and longevity first and foremost. Of course we want to make gains, but the gains are meaningless if you don't have your health and longevity. So what I try to do is always balance things out. And I always weigh risk versus reward as though everybody that I'm teaching is part of my family, and you know, what's the truest advice I would give that really puts others first. Not just me getting on here and just throwing around a bunch of crazy things like some people do on here. And say things that are just so outlandish. I have a different way of doing things, and so just know that when you come to this channel, if you don't already know that, which many of you do, but the newer people may not understand that about me. Now, if you are an overly aggressive person, and there are plenty of people out there that are, or you find that if you do get angry or upset, you have a trouble controlling your emotions, if you're quick to overreact, if you're very impatient, you know, things that many of us are, but I mean to where it's like a bigger problem. Because there are people that we're all kind of like that in a way. Some people far more patient than others, but then there's people that take it to a whole nother level where they really can't control it, and that's just who they are or how they are. Because, you know, everybody's wired different. But if you are one of those people, one, just admit it and realize it about yourself before, I mean, just in general in life, but when you're considering using steroids, you have to ask yourself, you know, am I susceptible to X, Y, or Z? Or do I have a family history of this? Or do I know that I don't respond well to this? You got to be honest with yourself. Well, you also need to be honest with yourself about whether you are an overly aggressive person. Because we're talking about some life-altering things here that you're taking, and it could not just affect you. It's going to affect the people around you. And so you need to think about those types of things. Don't be selfish and put others first. And that starts with being honest. Now, if you feel that you are an aggressive person, but you can control it a lot more, I still would say don't do it. That's my recommendation. But I want to be fair here, and I don't want to just sound like he's just hammering home. If you feel that you can control it, I would then ease into things, look at compounds that maybe don't cause or are not known to cause as much aggression. So, for instance, DHT compounds, so like your Winstrol, your Anavar, your Masterons, your Primobolins, those can tend to make you a little more aggressive. Proviron, Anadrol. They just do. That's part of this possible side effects, more so with a DHT compound than another type of compound. We already know about Tren. I think, you know, well, and if you don't, the two that are going to probably make you the most aggressive are Tren and halotestin. Okay? And halotestin is going to be the worst. It can make you so angry and so aggressive and so fierce And that can be great for like a powerlifting competition or like an MMA fight where you need that type of aggression. Although I don't recommend halotestin at all really for anybody. I don't find the reason to use it. That's kind of what it would be geared toward. It is ultra aggressive. Tren is a 19 NOR compound. And that's also known for, being one of the worst when it comes to aggression. So then where does that leave you? Well, obviously test. T-ball, equipoise, those aren't known as much for aggressive behavior. DECA, possibly. D-ball. And D-ball is one of those ones where you're going to feel euphoric when you take it. And you're not going to have that. Well, it's possible with any steroid, understand, but it's not likely with the ones that I'm listing now. Or you'd be a lot less susceptible to it with those, especially at more moderate doses. Everybody's different. I can't tell people if they're more estrogen prone than another, if they're more, angry than another. I can't predict that. You have to know that about yourself, but I can tell you that the likelihood is far less with the compounds that I just listed off to you. And then it also might be worth considering, well, maybe steroids just aren't for me. Maybe I should look at something alternative. So look at HGH, maybe depending on your age, situation, health, your SARMs, your peptides. Look at taking some nootropics maybe as well, so that can give you some clarity of the mind, make you more sharp, and maybe that can help you with being aggressive all in one. Nootropics are great for that. I'm a big advocate on those, and certain ones. I mean, it depends, but mostly all of them are very good at what they do and generally pretty safe, depending on which ones you're using, but for the most part. So look at these other options, too. It's not like steroids are the only option for you to take a performance-enhancing drug or to kind of, get more elevated when you're peaked out on what you can do naturally. There's other ulterior options, and I have videos out there if you want to check them out. If you're watching this and you're new here, especially, and I'm assuming that steroids and aggression is probably a pretty big topic that gets searched. And so if you're new here, know that I have plenty of videos that cover a lot of the different aspects and ideas and thoughts that I'm talking about here. I try to. There's some stuff that I discuss a lot, and then I try to put videos out on it so people have a good reference to go back on and watch. So, I really, really, really would think long and hard about using anything if you know that you have trouble with aggression or controlling emotions and things like that. Because, something like Tren, for example, even the most stable people can have emotional issues on it. And I mean the most stable of stable. I've seen it. So imagine if you've already got some, maybe mental health things going on, or like the ultra aggressive behavior, who knows, whatever. That is one of the worst things that you could ever do to yourself. Doing things that are like mind altering. It's just not wise. It's not. So think long and hard and be honest with yourself, and don't do anything that you are not supremely confident in, please. And think about others too that you're affecting by doing this and maybe taking it out on them or putting them in harm's way. Who knows? I've seen some craziness. So just think about these things. My recommendation is no on steroids. Possibly consider SARMs, peptides. Definitely look at nootropics. That's my opinion. That's, if you were paying me to coach you, that's exactly what I would tell you to do. And if you wanted to pay me to tell you otherwise, I'd tell you I can't take you on as a client. So for me to tell you I would actually turn down money than tell somebody to do something that I know in my heart I don't feel is right, then that's where I'm at. So there you have it. That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.